Welcome. This is another module where we are introducing the various components of a microfabrication lab. In the previous modules, we have seen how the gowning process is to be done, the importance of an air curtain at the entrance of a lab, and the particulate count that needs to be different particulate counts that are maintained in a lab. So, as we have seen, this lab we are maintaining it as a class 10,000 clean room. So, that means 10,000 represents the number of particulate matter, the limit of the number of particulate matter that can be there within the clean room. So, there cannot be more than 10,000 particulate matter above 5 microns. The main component used to maintain the clean room environment, as I mentioned, is HEPA filter. HEPA stands for high efficiency particulate air. So, the filter has different components. It has a positive pressure module and a tower module. So, Sitaram here is standing next to a tower module. The tower module is used to circulate the air inside the clean room environment. As you can see, we have different tower modules within the lab. There is one next to Sitaram. Now he is moving towards the next tower module that we have. Now we have another partition, as you can see inside, where we do biological testing with our sensors. So before we enter that, we have to wear goggles, as we have introduced before. So Sitaram will wear the goggles and go inside and show you another tower module that is kept inside the lab. So he has worn the goggles. Now he will enter the next section in the lab, and there is another tower module that is kept inside the lab. So these tower modules are used for circulating the air. Apart from this, there is another positive pressure module that acts. So Sitaram is moving towards the positive pressure module. He will point you to that positive pressure module. You can see his gloves. So that is a positive pressure module. It is like an air conditioned system, but in a much more grander way. What the positive pressure module does is, it will suck in air from outside, clean it using a series of very complex filters, and push that cleaned air into the lab at a high pressure. So the whole lab environment will be maintained at a slightly higher pressure compared to the outside world. This ensures that particles from the outside cannot enter the lab so easily. Once this positive pressure module pumps in clean air into the lab, this air needs to be circulated. The tower modules which we saw, which Sitaram will again point to, these tower modules will ensure the circulation of air within the lab. So these two systems have to work hand in hand along with our good lab practices to maintain that particulate matter count within the lab. Now you might think, okay, the HEPA filter is there, the filter only will clear everything and fill in, even if the internal particles, there are more number of particles, the filter will clean it up. No, the filter has its own limitations. So we have seen the two components of the HEPA filter. Now that Sitaram is outside the biological section, he is not doing an active work, so he will keep the goggles back into this goggle tray. The HEPA filter is a very core part of maintaining a clean room environment. Then you might think, you can just the HEPA filter will take care of the particulate matters. Why we are much concerned about the gowning procedure and cleanliness aspects of it? That is because every device has its limitations. The HEPA filter has a series of filters. These filters are first of all very costly, and they have a limit of filtering that they can do. They have a lifetime and replacement time. If there are so much dust particles inside our lab and outside the environment also, we are loading the HEPA filter to filter the particulate matters. So we have to do whatever is possible from our end to maintain a clean environment, so that the lifetime of the HEPA filter is extended. So once again, when we tell the positive pressure module, tower module, 4 tower modules are there inside this lab, as you can see, 1 in this section and 2 in the other section, and the positive pressure module is in the other section. These 5 components of the filter maintains the class 10,000 clean room that we are intending in this laboratory setup. For a lab that maintains a much more stringent class standard, like a class 10 or a class 1000 clean room, the HEPA filter system will be much more elaborate, with lot of positive pressure modules and tower modules kept at frequent intervals or distances in the lab, so that the particulate matter is kept under very strict control. So this is how clean room environment is maintained. In the next modules, we will get into the equipment that are used within the lab. Thank you.